South Africa is the third largest cannabis producer in the world according to the World Health Organization, and it is also the third largest African country to legalize cannabis after Lesotho as well as Zimbabwe. It is now an emerging market with great potential for the growth of the economy, but first, major regulatory hurdles need to be overcome.
That Cheeba has landed. That Cheeba is here to save life. Depression and anxiety is gonna be a thing of the past because Cheeba is coming. The academy is coming to come and dig deeper.
Just to give you some insight into what we do on an education basis. At the moment we have a 3-month course which we developed from scratch on our campus in Johannesburg. On that course students learn everything from growing from seed to harvest, including growing food, companion planting. We're very passionate, I'm very passionate about food, which I'll touch on in a minute. So we do growing, then we do medicinal cannabis. All of our medicinal content is licensed from the States. We have the license for the whole of Africa. What we do is take that content and repurpose it for the African continent. So we take out all the Americanisms and the American legislation, replace it with African law legislation. And they are the top of their game for online cannabis medical training. So the content is really strong and really vetted and cited, and there's a lot of doctors being involved. You know, medicinally we're still quite far behind the America. So, but we've written our own grow courses, all the content on the campus we write, and then so you do those 2 verticals, and then you do cannabis, extraction, legal, supply chain management, project management, some entrepreneurial skills, and then we have a section called wellness and sustainability. So within that we do permaculture, food security, futurism, all these kind of more 21st century things. You know, I'm deeply passionate about food. I think I personally believe the food industry should be tried for genocide. I think the food industry has been intentionally killing us for the last 50 years since food was industrialized. And it still pains me that people go to work every day and they know the products they're making are healthy for people, but they still go to work and they still do them. So food is a very, very big component of what we do. And essentially on all of our campuses, we want to have permaculture, hydroponics, aquaponics, indoor and outdoor throughout the whole year, you know. And then connecting to communities. So we're connecting with our Plettenberg campus to a township farm where they will come onto our campus when we do permaculture lessons for no cost, so that they can take that knowledge back into the community. Campus essentially, you know, we want to give it to people. The other thing we do is we grow into the club model, so we work with Grow in Africa, I know you guys know well. That's the only way we can grow at the moment. We asked SAPRA about a research license, they said no 4 times, and then we had a call with them, and they said, oh, we'll send you the forms. So again, it's just this flip-flopping of legislation. So we grow into the club model. Any money generated from the students growing cannabis goes back into future scholarships. So the students studying are funding future students. So that's the idea, is to roll that model out on all the campuses we bring out. You know, sustainability is absolutely key, and our contribution to improving the world and trying to save our planet, to train and teach people that go out and are positive role models, are the pebbles. You know, because we can't do it all ourselves. So that's our mandate. You know, I mean, the campus is run strict. All the staff have to be in like shirts and stuff, because we, especially in Joburg, we don't want people to think it's a stoner campus. You know, we often have that, and we've had lots of people say that and come and laugh at us. But it's strict. We run it properly. There's proper lecture rooms, and it's a proper full facility, which we'll start to grow into. You know, so education is. I believe education is broken globally. You know, if I think of what I learned and what the skills that I needed to get through life. You know, I'm not saying biology and all those things, those skills are also important. I can look at the clouds and tell you the type of clouds because of what I learned in geography like 20, 30 years ago. You know? But I think that we're not taught life skills. You know, we're also not taught about how to navigate. We're taught about how to sit in a lane. And you know, mechanization is here. Amazon in the next 10 years say that there will not be a single human being involved in the fulfillment of their packages. Singularities around the corner. The World Economic Forum say by 2025, 50% of skilled labor will need reskilling. There's all these crazy stats out there at the moment. So what we try and teach our students is critical thinking, lifelong learning, all to break the status quo. And I mean, that comes from kind of both of us have rebel spirits. We've never fitted into the box. And I think it's time that more people start to step out of the box. Because we have to survive, and we're not surviving at the moment.
Cannabis is the tree of life. And when we say that, that's no exaggeration, because we know that the plant has the ability to affect every aspect of our lives, spiritual as well as material, as well as environmental. So this plant has the potential and the capacity to really lift millions of desperate South Africans out of the quagmire of poverty, unemployment, and disease. The plant has done it for many years, and she can do it again. So it's no exaggeration when we say that this plant has the potential to lift South Africa economically, spiritually, culturally, materially.
And just to add to that, with our course is endorsed by the Limpopo University. I don't know if you mentioned. Oh, did you? Oh, I did. Oh, you did. Oh, yeah. So we're having our graduation in the next 2 weeks, and so in the certificate that they're going to have, it's going to be stamped university. So these stoners have a certificate from the university.
It's not accredited, but it's endorsed.
Yeah.
And we're in discussion with a lot of other universities as well. We're putting a university think tank together. We've got a really robust board. We've got some incredible doctors. We've got an American doctor, our American education partner. We've got some really, really interesting people. Tony Button is one of our board members. But again, like I mentioned to you earlier, it's like this is bigger than us. This is bigger than Cheeba. This is about the collective. And working together to move this movement forward as fast as possible. We're losing valuable market share and opportunity. Every single day. The Europeans and the North Americans are bringing the cost per gram down because technology is moving fast. The South Americans are coming online. The Asians are coming online, undercutting. So all this off-take bullshit, is going to fizzle out to some degree because we go great cannabis. I think we will still have a market, but we need to secure that now. So the webinar we're running in a few weeks, we're probably going to title, the legislation crisis, the cannabis legislation crisis. We believe it's a crisis, and it's hurting everybody. Like the industry is just not moving. And the problem with that is that the investor community, who's hear the buzzword about cannabis, they're all sitting on the fence waiting. We need capital, we need investment, we need investors, we need venture capitalists to build this industry properly. I really, really believe in this industry. I really believe that it's not a silver bullet, it's not going to save our economy, it's not going to cure everybody from cancer, but it can have a huge impact on what's happening in the world today. So that's kind of our approach, and that's why we're so excited to come up and visit you guys, because you've got ethos-wise, from everything we've read and seen, we're super aligned, and that's what we're trying to do at the moment, is bring on these beacons in the country. We've got this happening here and this happening here, because then as a collective, we can really move this thing forward. Any questions?
We are going to lead this struggle. That land is power, it's a reality. South Africa, we cannot continue doing like that. This is not Canada. We don't want your Canada modules of cannabis. We don't want your American modules. We need South African modules. You have to draft guidelines that are South African origin and fitted to the conditions of South Africa. We have indigenous communities like Amampondo, Amaleboho, Kualulu, all around this country, Siki, and all of these communities who are indigenous farmers of cannabis.
We are here to bring about legislative change in favor of growth. We are benefactor-centered and we are for local ownership. This is to aid trade amongst our people, to establish industry, sustainability, generating industry around rights, fairness and morals, aims at filling the medical care gap, because right now the traditional healers